Yeah, let's go. Okay, we're gonna bring this meeting to order.
I was at school all day. That's a good one.
And it's, what month is it? March?
April.
April?
Are you testing us?
April 8th, 2024. So we'll call the meeting to order with a roll call.
Mayor, Commissioner.
Ron Walker, Commissioner.
I was about to have an
Joe
anxiety.
Tipman, Mayor.
Chris Gomez, City Code Enforcer, and then Nicole stepped into her office.
We'll be right back. And public comment. Anybody sign the sheet up here?
I did.
Okay. You're first then.
All I have to say is thank you for doing the dog thing.
Yeah.
He even stopped Howard and told Howard that he put the dog on a chain.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, and the dog gets loose once in a while, but they will retrieve him.
He was chasing us today.
Yeah, there was a car. But thank you very much.
You're welcome. That was-
I hadn't had a chance to do anything, but I'm still gonna send something out to him just as a heads up, because some people ain't aware of what's going on. So, you know, it's not gonna be anything pointing fingers, anybody's in trouble, but I'm glad that the issue got resolved without me really having to step in, you know. That's the ultimate goal, is for that to take place.
Amen, brother.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
And it does happen sometimes. Nobody can keep their dog under control 100% of the time, so, and I'm glad you understand.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is Ron Casey.
I got a couple things. It's for that one person basically, but I want to thank Joe Tipman for getting the office going over here. Look, it's almost done if it's not done.
We've done this week, and she'll be moving back in.
Okay. But anyway, and I also want to thank McCracken Beautification for being instrumental in getting that stone building downtown. That saved the city quite a bit of money.
Yeah, thank you, Ron, for recognizing those things. Appreciate it.
I also had brought to my attention that, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for doing this, but I had heard from a reliable source that there's a commissioner that's writing stuff on Facebook. And this has gone on before. It happened during the time that my wife was on the council. And I don't think it's appropriate. If you have something to say it in the public forum. I used to be a nice guy. I'm not nice anymore. I lived here, what, 6 years, 7 years? Used to be a nice guy. But this town has made me very protective. Anyway, I used to be a nice guy, let's put it that way. But this needs to stop. And if it doesn't, then we may have to consider legal action. So, I'm not naming names, but this person knows quite well who's doing this. So, they need to stop and stop now. Because I hear about it again, I will bring it up to the public's attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. There's no other public comment at this time. Unless anybody's got another, who didn't get on the list that wants to.
No. Oh, you did? No. I don't want to, I didn't go on the list because I didn't want to talk about anything. I think it's great. Good job.
Okay, you had your chance. Okay, the next item is the consent agenda, where we approve the minutes and pay the bills. I read through the minutes and I would approve them the way they're written. How about you guys?
Look great to me.
Okay, done, finished. Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, well, and you got the checks?
Yes, I do.
Um, Okay, so we're paying the bills.
Yes. It's just rural water for 40, the judge for 3,000, then Shane's paycheck, and then at Chris's and Mitch, just pretty much normal.
Okay. For your information, we're paying the judge for the whole year. He's very reasonable, so we thought we'd just knock it out.
That'd be easier, so I don't have to write a check every month.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Aye. So that's approved unanimously. Next item is resolutions and ordinances. We have none at this time. Moving on. The next item is commissioners' reports. First will be Brian Walker.
It's calving season, so I barely know what day it is, Joe.
What day is it, everybody?
It's meeting day. It's meeting day.
Whatever day we have meetings on, that's what it is.
I followed up a little bit with Great Plains Development, talked to Hannah a little more. I think if everybody remembers, there are grants that can be no money down, so that's the category we fall in. And you've got a variety of things, but we're kind of in this group. They're called BIL grants, B-I-L. And those are the ones that we're focusing on. She has sent over a list of kind of based on our needs, being street infrastructure and water infrastructure. Those are the things we're focusing in on.
And the bill grants are infrastructure, right?
Correct. Correct. And there's windows that open and close all the time, and those are the things that we just kind of roll with. She's got our whole wish list, including, we talked about the pool, and she said we just try to work that in down the road. Ron Casey has done a lot of looking and finding different grants, and I just wanted to give him an attaboy for that effort, and we'll just keep looking until we rake in the ones that we can and the ones that do us the most benefit. And it's just it's a process, and I think everybody knew that going in.
Yeah, it can be a long process too, so we might not get everything we want this year in the next 12 months. But the sooner you start the process, the sooner you get the results. So glad you got that started. And Ron, thank you very much. I know you've passed a lot of that stuff on to me. And I do appreciate it. It's a lot of work, and I'm glad somebody else is doing it.
The grant committee is full of ideas and excited to get the ball rolling. So we'll just keep digging.
Do you have a regular schedule when you guys meet, or you just pass information back and forth as it becomes
We
available?
will get to where we have a little more structure as time wears on.
And you think you'll have Hannah or other folks come out and
She's
keep you updated?
yeah, and she's
Or
said
conference call or something?
yeah,
Or something?
over and over. She says that she would be happy to Zoom any capacity we need her to, whether it's during business hours or not. Anytime we can get together, should it be in the evening, she would like to Zoom in with us.
That's great. Okay, super good. I'm glad you're keeping us updated on that, and look forward to talking with you about it every time we meet.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Norma.
I had a call from Jardy Schulte. He's the one that mowed the cemetery last year. We had the contract with. He's trying to get his stuff together for this year, so know how many people he needed to hire and that kind of thing. And he asked me if he was still going to be mowing our cemetery. I said, well, I really kind of need to wait till our meeting. I can't really make that decision without the other guys. So I told him I would give him a call after the meeting tonight, one way or another. He indicated he'd stay with what he had, and I can't remember the exact figure on that.
$750, I think, a mow.
Yeah, I think that was what, yeah. I just couldn't reach that one in my head, and I didn't have anything written down, I don't know why. So he was just needing to know so he could get his help hired for the summer. And he said he personally went out and mowed the golf course and took, weeded it, mowed it all. He says, I always do the first mow on everything that I ever do, so I know exactly.
Cemetery.
Or cemetery. But I said golf course, didn't I? Cemetery, excuse me, cemetery. I don't know why I even was thinking about the golf course. Maybe we need to stop and go golfing.
He did already?
Excuse
No,
me.
this is
I'm
last
sorry.
year.
Oh,
No, that last year.
Okay, sorry.
And he said, now where was I?
I'm sorry, I just.
No, that's good. That's fine.
First mowing, something
First,
like that?
he did the first, thank you, first mowing, before he ever hires anyone in to know what it's gonna take. And he said, that cemetery is a pretty large cemetery. It took him exactly 15 hours to mow and weed eat, and what he done. He just told me how he did it. He did a quarter, he mowed it, then he weed eated it, he did another quarter, he weed eated it, and he said he never stopped. He took a sandwich with him, and he says I was there from early morning until almost 8 o'clock that night. So he says then that gave me a great idea of exactly how many hours it took and what he needed. Now, I know they don't spend that many hours because he always has help now, after that. He just did that so he'd know what to bid and how to bid it. But we do need to make a decision whether we're going to maintain him. He did an excellent job last year. He did a really nice job. He says he was amazed at how many people comes out to the cemetery during the day. He says, man, I was kind of shocked. He says, I do all the cemeteries around here, and he says, you guys, the cemetery's really busy. So he was really a nice guy to visit with and seemed to be very personable, and that was the first time I had dealt or actually talked with him. So we do need to, I guess if you guys want to discuss that or any questions, and if I know them, I'll answer them.
Does that come out of the cemetery budget?
Yes.
On average, like how many times does he end up mowing?
Well, he likes to keep it mowed down because he said it's one's wear and tear on your equipment. If you leave them, just go and then do a big mow. So he did about twice a
I think
month.
he spent $7,000 last year.
Yeah, he did about twice a month was what he did. And he always has it ready for Memorial Day. So that's another reason I need to,
And if we call him, he'd always come right away.
yes.
If there's a funeral or anything like that.
Yeah. So, I think I know all the cemeteries around this area, and he does a lot of businesses too.
And that didn't put any stress on the budget?
No, we have,
Well, that's,
we get an income off that farm ground every year
yeah,
that comes along with the cemetery, so that usually
Oh,
just
that
pays for
goes
the
back
upkeep
in
for the
there.
year.
yeah. And we do have to, basically we do, that was what was in the will of that trust, was that we had to be sure that we keep it up, and that comes out of that.
Okay.
And you said how much it was? It was a $750 mowing?
Mm-hmm.
No, 700.
700.
$750 a mow.
Yeah, not 7,000 a mow.
It's a pretty big area to mow, and weedy.
And didn't he do branches last year?
He did pick up some of them. When we
I'm
had
sure
that
that's part of
storm,
it.
he did pick up some of them. Yes, he did.
We were supposed to hear from another guy out of Ellis, I can't remember his name right now, but I never heard from him, so I assume that he's not that interested in it, so. He may contact us about city mowing, but we have some other options for that too.
And where's this individual based out of?
Ness City.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I'd like to get these things,
Yeah, because it's almost Memorial Day.
I'd like to get it nailed down because if we don't, these guys get busy and then you can't get them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we would hire Jared T. Schulte to mow the cemetery.
And he agreed to this price again when you talked to him?
You know, he didn't really, I'll be honest, I didn't just say, is this gonna be the same, but he didn't indicate to me anything differently. He said, I know how many hours it takes, and basically, it's good where we're at.
Okay, can you touch base with him and just make sure that that this is the number we're gonna be working with, or? if
I
he's-
can, but I do need to give him a heads up tonight, one way or another.
Okay, it's fine with me. If he's got any increases due to
Actually, I
economic
think our
issues or
fuel and
anything.
stuff's pretty much about the same, so I really don't see him to,
Okay,
yeah. I think he's probably pretty close in the ballpark right now.
okay, I'll second your motion in that case. So, all in favor of hiring Jerry Schulte at $7.50 a mow to do the cemetery mowing and weed eating, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, that's a done deal then. You'll touch base with him tonight?
Yes, I'll call him tonight.
Okay.
Let him know.
Very good. Anything else, Norma?
No, that's all I have.
Okay. Next item is the mayor's report. Larry has stepped up and offered to take the position of city superintendent or city maintenance. Larry, why don't you say who you are and
That's me over here, okay? Now, I'll stand up so everyone can see me. That way you don't have to look at the glare on the bald heads.
already blind from that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Competition.
Guess I just waited too long, huh?
Yeah.
So, my name's Larry Bracken. I live in La Crosse. I'm a school teacher in Hayes. And I've been around the Eliases for 20 years. And brought to my attention that you guys needed a superintendent, and there's a lot of things that I can do. And from mowing to maintenance, I've been a mechanic for 30 years, welder, fabricator, carpenter. So if it's broke, I can fix it.
That's what we,
So also did road maintenance for 10 years with APAC, so I kind of know asphalt industry, so yeah, I can kind of help with some of the potholes and street maintenance, things like that. So, I don't know, you guys got questions or concerns?
Anybody got a question for Larry?
Do you have recommendations from other people?
Recommendations for other people or
Yeah.
from other people?
From other people for you to do the job?
References?
There, that's the word I needed.
References? No, I mean, I've done stuff at Jeannie's house, so, I mean, she knows that I can fix things. I used to work on Dennis's vehicles when he was alive and do all that stuff.
I've seen his Jeep.
Yeah, I've got a big bad Jeep that'll go anywhere.
multitask.
So, you know, it doesn't matter what snow you get, I can still come over and do snow removal.
Well, I've heard
So.
about you through Jeannie.
Yeah.
We're not actually by law required to remove snow from the streets,
Right.
but we like to do it as a courtesy if we can.
Not a problem.
So, there is some snow removal that we do wanna do though, like in front of the city building here, we wanna keep that walk cleared out.
And the library,
And
the
the,
library.
the library,
Well, I might actually have some suggestions on how to get a state-provided, ice truck and state plow.
we'd love to hear it,
So,
okay?
all I gotta do is call the state, and sometimes they'll donate, retired, plows and stuff, so.
Equipment.
Yeah, NCK up in Beloit actually did that, and they've got a state truck, the state provides all the sand and salt and everything, now that's at school.
And they just park it there?
Yeah, it's set inside the building. They gave it to them, they wrote it off of the books, here you go, the truck is yours. They provide, the school provides all the maintenance on it through their diesel class and, things like that. And then when it comes wintertime, the state fills it up for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, we wanna look into
So
that.
maybe we can talk to somebody at the state, see if they can, donate whether it's a plow truck or a smaller pickup with a plow on it, with a sand machine on the back or something like that,
Yeah,
But then with all like the grants and stuff, that might be something that they could look into, with that system.
you bet. Okay,
So
thank you. If,
I can pretty much work on about anything you guys need, so.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
excellent.
I like the idea.
And I'm good at mowing. So,
You said you don't mind mowing and you have a couple of teenagers maybe that'd come out and help you once in a while.
I do have a couple teenagers that this summer are always looking for little side stuff, and the one thinks he's the greatest mower in the world at 12. So,
The one thing though we have to look at, and we do have to bear in mind, our insurance and
Insurance,
stuff. We
yeah.
can't, they have to be city employees and 18 over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that
Right.
kids ought to be working. I have grandkids
yeah.
too.
Or I could, I could pay him out of my, out of my pay.
But,
Yeah.
but they
But our
can't
insurance
run
liability would
anything
be,
on
that would
ours.
be the
Yeah,
issue.
they couldn't operate our mowers.
They'd have to operate
Then I'll
their
go back
own.
to liability, it's on.
What about weed eaters?
Even worse.
That's worse.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I can
and
still,
I'm not putting a damn
No,
on, I just.
I can still mow
I
it.
just know
Some
run
scissors.
If we're,
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, scissors, yeah. I
long as
remember
they're not
doing that
running.
with scissors.
if we've got the cemetery covered, that reduces the mowing burden
Yeah.
considerably, so,
I can
could
handle
make
everything else
the
in
rest of
town.
the city manageable.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we would have to do is, create an ordinance to set your pay, and,
You already got that. You already did that?
well, we just need a resolution to
Just
hire
do a
her.
resolution?
So, we already have the ordinance, we'd have to change
We did that already.
change the name on it.
The ordinance, we did that already. We changed the name on it.
Boy, you haven't changed the name, because his name would be the name.
No, I mean his name.
Oh,
Just
that's
put
a
his name on it.
resolution. That's the
That'll be in
resolution.
the resolution.
Resolutions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have to write a resolution,
And give you have to take an oath. But we can do that anytime. It doesn't have to be during a meeting, so.
I've already done a military oath too, so I'm good.
Yeah, it didn't have to be during a meeting, so it's anytime, like,
So,
that can be done.
and the resolution we'll have to do.
That will take me 5 seconds, really. I mean, it's
Does it have
just,
to be done at the meeting?
no. I mean, it has to be
Well, we
approved
have to-
now,
yeah,
but
we have to
then,
approve
then I
We
can,
can
yeah.
have to sign it.
Yeah, we do have to
Right.
approve them.
Yeah, but that has to be approved at the meeting.
Do you,
Do I know what number it will be?
Yeah.
No, I do not. I think it would be 4, but I'm not gonna say that 100%. And I don't have any of my information here because,
all right, can we pass it without mentioning the
Yes,
number right
yes.
now? Okay, so, I think Larry's probably overqualified for the job, so I'm going to make a motion that we, and that, you guys know what that salary is, right?
Nope.
it was $1,000 a month,
Yeah.
with a 10-hour-a-week minimum.
Correct. Is satisfactory?
Probably more than we have in our budget, but we've never done that either.
Isn't that what we were paying before?
Nope.
paying more.
No, actually, that was a division and 4 different areas, and so
Yeah,
you
what was his,
know.
what was his paycheck though?
1350.
Well, his paycheck was $13.50, but it was
And some of
divided
that- some of
into
that
4
was
different, it was all divided into 4 segments at 25% of the segment. So that no entity had a complete, nope,
It was 25% out of water, 25% out of sewer, 25% out of cemetery, and then 25% out of general.
yeah,
So how does it shake out? Does it shake out at 1,000 a month?
That, I would have to look. I mean, that would be, it was $13.50 a month, but it was just split into those 4 different funds, so it all,
What's he making now on water?
$13.50, I mean, it didn't change. He's certified now too, I mean,
but then now it comes straight out of water and sewer, right?
yeah, that's just out of water and sewer, so that checks out of water and sewer, then his wouldn't take water and sewer, it would just be
His would be just
general.
general.
And
general.
if there was no, it would just be general,
It'd just
yeah.
be general, straight general.
Which is where most of our money is. I think, I don't have a treasurer's report either.
Again, I think we need to
So
do the
Shane's still
budget
making
before we hire
13.50.
people.
Yeah. Because it wasn't changed, nothing was changed like that on his.
That's probably a lot
For what?
for water.
I mean, it's a lot of work, those checking meters every month and all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't
And
want
then he has to
make
locate,
any-
do all the locates on all the, every time we have a utility locate. And then the
And-
water,
and
the
every day
water
read the-
that breaks, you know, pipe breaks.
If we were gonna hire a new operator though, I wouldn't pay
The
him
one
that
in
much.
Bazine makes $79,000 a year,
In Bazine?
in Bazine,
Jeez, where do
But
they
they
get
have-
their?
Well, they must have money.
they do.
Well,
They-
they
They have a
I
little,
mean,
they have
we
a
need
little,
somebody that
Hold on,
has some
hold
skill.
on, Hold on, please.
They do have. they
Hold
do
up.
have money.
Yeah, and I can do that stuff too.
the water,
I've been around some of it, yeah.
he's certified though, like you have to be a certified water operator, he just got his
He just got it.
certification.
Yeah.
And we
Not
spent
certified,
a
but
lot of money getting there.
I think you're getting a lot for one.
All right,
I mean, we have to have somebody do the mowing, it has to be done, I mean,
what do you mean?
like there has to be somebody to do the mowing, it has to be a hired person, so we have to hire
yeah.
somebody, so,
Yeah.
but,
We either have to hire it or we
or yeah,
get
or
to
the
do it.
commissioners do it.
Or we get to do it. And we don't get paid.
What?
And we don't get paid.
We don't get paid?
For
No,
mowing? No.
no.
I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm still gonna motion that we pay $1,000 and hire Larry to do the job. Do I have a second? Or do you want more discussion?
I think we need to get into the budget a little deeper before we
Okay,
so
so,
get that done.
all right. We had a work session scheduled, and it got canceled. We were gonna discuss budget at that time, so, and some other things, but I think, maybe we table this for 2 weeks.
We had, Robert Brown hired last year
Mhm.
for maintenance as a assistant or but we paid him hourly.
Yeah. it's
And I think
$12
the
an
most
hour.
we ever paid him was $800 a month. Like,
But he was
it
just
wasn't
an assistant.
Yeah, I'm just saying we did take, like, that was an expense last year that we did have,
But it was just the summer,
but it was just the summer, yeah.
basically.
Okay, I wanna schedule a work session, but I'd wanna do it soon. So,
Yeah, your mowing season's coming up.
I'm thinking next Thursday.
Tell
Thursday?
us to do that.
I work 2 to 6, so just around that,
6:30.
yeah.
Are you guys okay with next Thursday?
I think
Thursday
so.
works for me.
I think, as far as I
6:30?
know at this point.
So what's that date?
That is the 18th,
Sorry.
or no, it would be the 11th, if it's this Thursday, the 11th. Yeah.
So this Thursday?
Yeah, the
Which-
11th,
what are we
April
gonna do?
11th.
Yeah, let's do it this Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, next Thursday, or the next one.
Yeah, I don't know what's the And then if we would need to have a special meeting, we could have one still at this, on Friday maybe,
Mhm.
if that would be necessary.
Okay, so just so I'm clear on things then, you're tabling hiring me contingency on pay, right? Or I'm hired, but we're waiting to figure out what pay is.
No, it'll be contingent on this meeting on Thursday.
Okay,
So, if we can come to an agreement on Thursday, we'll set a special meeting for Friday, if everybody can make it, and then, pass the resolution at that time.
okay.
Again, so we'll table it. I think we need somebody we need somebody like Larry, whether or not we'll just decide on your pay and where it's coming from. And then we'll get together with you on phone call, if everything's good with you.
Okay, because there is a lot of things in this town that I can do.
And there's a lot of things we need done.
Amen.
And we need somebody that can do all that.
Yeah, no, there's pretty much nothing I'm not afraid of tackling.
Yeah, right.
So if I can't fix something or figure out how to do something, I'll get it figured out,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this issue until, next meeting or a special meeting, and that we convene a work session this Thursday at 6:30. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Would you like me back over on Thursday, or?
No, not necessary.
Okay.
Maybe Friday though, but,
Okay.
because we want to give you that oath.
I'll get your number and I'll try to give you a call if they would want you back on Friday.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, very good.
I'm just a few minutes down the road, so.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Larry, appreciate it.
No problem.
I don't think I have anything else.
I don't have anything.
Full business is dealing with trash collection service agreement.
Yeah, that's all. I just didn't know if you guys wanted to read through that and see if it was okay, then we could, I told Mitch about it tonight, but he must have forgotten. Then I could give it to Mitch if you guys agreed on that.
Do we want to hold, the only question I have on here, I mean, I think it's good to have a contract with them, not a problem there. But is Mitch okay with 5 years? I mean, I've been in business and 5 years is a lot to hold a locked-in.
Well, it's not
amount.
locked in completely. If you read the last page, it says that either one of us could get out of it at any time. I just thought,
Both parties agree to keep,
it says that,
this agreement shall okay, termination. Either party may terminate, yeah, that
like
is a
within
very-
30 days, so I just thought the 5 years would be.
But I wasn't really talking about the termination of the deal, and that is a good clause to have in. I know I had booth runners, and you do want that. But what I was thinking about on the 5 years, are we locking him in a price at 5 years?
Oh, I don't know that would be a,
Or is this just the contract itself?
It's just the contract itself.
And he can adjust the
yeah,
price?
because I think he's going to adjust the prices. I think that's what he was.
Well, because
gonna go for.
that was my question, because I was hoping he was here tonight, because I
Right.
really did want to ask him that, because 5 years to lock in prices.
Yeah, I don't think
is
that that
a-
would be cool with him.
No, that would not be a good idea on his part. Yes, I would love it as a customer.
Right, yeah, it just
I
said
would
that,
definitely love that.
it
But
said that just the attached, trash collection services, so it's not part of the
it's
contract.
not
It'd be- Yeah,
it's nothing as pay is set in it.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I mean, I can change the wording on that if you want me to. I mean,
Well, I'm just wondering if we have it worded right so that he can.
and he can always change it too. If he doesn't want to do it 5 years, he could say, I'd rather do it this many years, and I can change it.
Well, yeah, but if we put it in.
Well, he's gonna have to agree before we can put it in anyway. I just wanted you guys to read it to see if you guys were okay with it. And then I thought he'd be here, but I can have him come Friday if we have a special meeting.
No, that's not really, I mean, that was just my
This is-
really
yeah, this is just
question.
like a
I just
formality
didn't
thing.
want to lock it
Yeah.
into a price for 5 years is what I was
Right.
concerned, because, you know, fuel right now it's pretty much consistent and it hasn't went up a lot, but you never know. Like
Landfill
that
charges
year that we
went
had
up.
$5 a gallon, I mean, you know,
Right.
and that's a big cost, and I don't know what I know he's going right now to Hayes for dumping, and we don't know what those,
Right.
costs are. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
I
I
just
just thought
didn't
it-
want to lock him into a price.
If we could like just agree that this is okay, or whatever you guys want to change, and then we could present it to him, and then he can agree. If he wants to agree, then we can put it in like that, I thought.
Just so that he's not locked into a price.
It's up to you. I mean, you guys, like I said, if you want to change it in the wording on it, it was just like a rough draft.
Do we want to talk to him when he
I
changes
kind of
prices?
thought he would be here.
I mean, do we want to put it in the contract?
I said it would be attached in here somewhere. Like the fees. Because he just changed them last year, but he was wanting to change them again because his landfill fees went up.
Okay, it says provide accurate and up-to-date information regarding trash collection or routes, schedules, and any changes. That's municipality responsibilities. Can we require the same from Mitch?
We can do it. I mean, I had AI
So that
write
if
this,
he's
to be
got a
honest with you. I didn't even really read it over.
So if he's got a price increase, he comes and talks to us a little bit about it before he initiates that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put that clause in
Or like
there.
a 30-day warning, or, you know,
Yeah,
hey,
something.
next month is gonna be up $2 or whatever. Yeah.
And he usually has, I think in the past, it's always been like the following month that he has changed the pricing, but I just want him to have some leniency there, that he's got control of that.
Yeah, I gave him a list of all of our different, like all the customers and what they had, their trash service, and I told him to go over that, make sure it was all right, and, because there's been some changes, there's been some new people, and,
Right.
Yeah, this doesn't lock him into any pricing.
Yeah, and as long as it's not there, and he has the latitude to control his pricing with our okay, and you do have the right clause in there as far as termination, that truly is, you have to have it both sides. I do know when it's a contract like
Right.
that. Because I had to have that in
He comes
mind.
and talks to us or communicates with us before any price increase.
well, yeah, he would have to, because I'm the one that does the billing, so he would have to talk to.
Yeah,
Before.
yeah, he'd have to definitely,
Yeah, I
and
can
he's
put that in
always
there.
came before.
Oh, yeah.
Just put it in
there
there
is.
for the sake of technicality.
He said he forgot about the meeting, he said he's busy right now, and asked if he could hold off until next meeting.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
So, okay.
yeah, we don't have to, because you're gonna do
Yeah.
a little bit of work on it still.
Right.
Other than that, I don't see any problems with it. How about you
Yeah,
guys?
no, I
Okay.
think it's, well, that was just really my only question.
Okay, excuse me, I lost something. That's his agreement. Okay. Anything else on that? Any other discussion on that? Okay.
He said he was sorry about that.
We accept his apology. New business, city insurance. So that is right here. Here we have the fine print, as it's called. And that would take me a while to peruse, but I would read that. And basically, we're looking at coverages on all these things. I had a question about inland marine. Who's that?
It's like our equipment, and if we had a contractor, we used, or that came in and did any work, like for instance, the lawnmowers that the cemetery will be using, if his mower would get damaged, we would have insurance on that. That's inland marine.
That's a different insurance?
No, it's just part of our policy. I mean, it's on
Part
there.
of the contract.
Yeah. He said that it's really good to have that. And then if we,
Okay.
if we borrow anybody's, like if we rent somebody's equipment, it's also covered under that inland marine.
Right. No, that is a good,
Okay.
Like up to $78,000 if we would break something of somebody else's.
Okay.
Would that be for personal property and persons?
If like, I think so, like it's in there. The general liability would be for like the person, and then we also have workman's comp, but that was just for the equipment, I believe, the $78,000 for equipment. If they were using their equipment. If we were renting it, then it would be just $25,000, I guess.
That'd be
No.
equipment rental from
Yeah.
others.
The only thing that he noticed on here was like our park bathrooms are insured at almost $4,000, and our property in the open is the gazebo, and like the shelter house is insured at $15,000.
What's the shelter house?
That's where we keep like the Christmas decorations like that
down there at the park.
at the park.
So that's one entity in the gazebo. Oh,
Yeah, the gazebo's
gazebo.
insured at $5,792. Then the shelter house is $15,000. But he was worried about our community building. It's only insured at $129,000, and it would take a lot more than that to replace this building if it would.
Yeah, it would take about 400.
And so he was worried about that, and then he actually seemed a little bit concerned about our water tower. He said $200,000 does not seem like even anywhere close that it would take. So he was concerned about those two things. And then we have $40,000 on the pool building. That's like got the showers and the bathrooms in there, and I mean I would take that much to replace it, but would we replace? I mean,
Well, until we get a working pool.
Right,
There's
yeah,
no
it's
reason
not-
to have a
Right.
$40,000.
and he said he could change anything we have on here. The one thing I kind of worried about is the pump house is only insured at $25,000.
Was that just the structure, or is
It's
that
the
everything?
equipment, pump house and equipment, the structure and the equipment inside.
Was-
There's no way we could,
That's,
He
we
said we
need
are-
to look at the fine print,
Yeah.
but the equipment isn't, that's not even gonna touch the equipment.
no, he said that we're really, really underinsured. But he said he understands because we're such a small town, we don't have that much money. But if there would ever be really something
But
catastrophic.
let me ask this, like where the shelter house is 15,000, which again, would we really
Yeah,
replace
and the
it?
bathrooms and,
Could we lower those to a much lower rate?
I mean, I can ask him
And
if he
then
could
have that
come here.
applied maybe more to one of these
That's
other
what he thought, that's
areas.
what his idea was to do.
Yeah,
is to take
to
some
me,
of that
that would
unnecessary.
make more sense.
Like the machine shed's insured at $82,000, which that wouldn't,
It wouldn't replace it either.
no.
Well,
And then
in
but
all honesty, we're probably never gonna be able to have the insurance that will replace,
Right.
like
Our
replacement
insurance
value.
doubled this last year though, I mean, almost
Yes.
doubled, so.
That's why I'm saying maybe we just should shift some things, if that's possible.
Right,
Because it's, with it going up, I mean, it's not like we wanna put more.
I know a lot of the other cities were switching insurance companies from the EMC to something different because they had gone up so much this year. But that's our local insurance agent, I don't know, I mean.
But he's an
He has
independent
other
agent,
options, though.
so
I mean, he
he
can sell
could
us-
maybe look
Yeah, he-
into some
right.
others
Because
for
they,
us.
I mean, I know that other clerks are looking into other insurance
Right.
because this one really,
And we could
they
ask
dropped a
him
lot
if
of
he
the
would.
cities and then they went up on the rest of them.
Because I think if we just asked, which Jeff is really pretty good about.
Yeah, I'm sure he
letting
would
us
come here
know that. I
and talk
mean,
to you
even
guys.
myself, he's done stuff and he'll say, hey, I've got one that's a little lower, you wanna, you know.
Right.
So I think maybe with him, maybe look at some other options and doing some switching figures.
And like with the
Understand.
commercial auto liability, that's if I'm taking a deposit to the bank and I wreck my car, it's liabilities, you know, covered with liability. The general liability, we're insured for $500,000, and he said that a lot of cities are switching to $1 million, but we can't get sued for more than $500,000, so I think that's kind of,
Exactly.
so.
That's right,
You
because
know,
that's a
there is a
governmental
cap
thing.
on that, so I think that that's good
Yeah.
at where it's at. And the library insurance is actually just for the building only, it's not for anything inside. They
Right,
pay for
because
the,
you guys have.
the library pays for the
engine.
contents.
Right, because we went through that one.
So that was the
We have
only
the
building he
exterior,
said
you have
that
the
he
inside.
thought maybe was even close to being properly insured.
We have pump house and equipment, and then we have pump house.
Because there's two of them.
There's two pump
But
houses.
pump house and equipment, does that cover
Yeah,
pump
it was
house?
both, I just, yeah, it's both is the same, exact same on both. It's the equipment inside and the pump house and the building, the structure. But that wouldn't even,
So I don't understand why we have it twice. Do we have?
because
it?
we have two pump houses. We have one out
Okay.
north and then we have the one
Okay,
on.
so this is pump house and equipment too?
He didn't know which one was one or two, but they're both insured for the same thing, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, he didn't know which one was which.
Okay, can you see if he'll come out and talk to us?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure he will.
And
Yeah, he's come down.
do you
meetings
guys wanna,
before.
do this Thursday? If he can make it?
That would be good. Okay.
Let's do, because we don't wanna,
You guys could ask me questions, you know, and
yeah, we need to get this signed off in some fashion as soon as possible too. We don't wanna be without insurance.
yeah, he said that we're
And when
good.
when is it?
He said that we're good for a couple months, so. But he just likes to have it done a little bit early. Because I got the bill.
So
Because
do you wanna do
before
this
on our-
Thursday, or do you wanna?
I mean, I
Ties in
could-
with the-
Yeah, I could have him
But,
come. Thursday. Here it is. This is the bill, like for each of them broken down.
Because we was running right at 7,000, wasn't we, before? I
Yeah,
think
it
that's
went
what was
up a
on the
lot.
budget.
Well, it went up double just because of the library building on there too. That wasn't, we didn't have that before, last year, it was the first year.
Okay, would you call him
Mhm.
right away,
Oh, yeah.
first thing tomorrow, and ask him if he
Absolutely.
can make it Thursday at 6:30?
I'm sure he can, yeah.
And when
I'm
you do, see if you can press him a little bit about
Looking at other
Looking for
options.
some,
a
yeah.
different.
Okay.
Ask him if there's
All
other
right.
companies that he sells for this.
And I'll even look at my listserv and see what companies, because I know they put what company they end up going with. And one of them was really reasonable, I guess. They thought it was kind of a scam because it was so good.
And you might ask him if you have those names.
And yeah,
Tell
I'll,
him and he can let you know if he can go
If he can sell
through
it.
those too.
Yeah, those guys.
right, okay, I will do that.
Okay,
Could I
thank you.
ask what about the fire building?
That's not us, that's the county. The county owns that now.
All
Yeah.
fire departments are county agencies.
Okay. And the equipment?
Yeah, that's all
That's
county.
about, yeah.
Okay. So, next item on the agenda is to adjourn the meeting. So,
City cleanup. Citywide broad.
oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Did we talk to anybody about dumpsters?
No, because I thought we would do the budget, like, talk first before we,
Okay, we can do that.
See where we're at.
Do you know what we
Last
paid
year,
for
how much
last
it
year?
cost last
do
year.
you know if we
It was
paid for it?
3,000
what we
last
paid
year.
for?
That's
That's what we
3,000.
spent.
For all of them?
I thought it was 6.
It was 3,000 for the dumpsters, and then like with everything else, I mean, it came out to about between 5 and 6.
5 and
Yeah.
6,000.
Yeah, but all the metal ones are gonna go towards the fire department, was that the plan of attack?
I'll
No, he
leave
was
that up.
gonna check that out.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of the new fire chief, I think his name is Heath. I haven't been able to get a hold of him to mention it to him. I've left him multiple voicemails and he don't get a hold of me. I'll still keep trying.
What is he?
Heath
Heath is
North
the
is his
fire-
name?
Heath
Yeah.
North,
He's the new, I was informed he's the new fire chief.
yeah, he is.
Of what?
Of the
McCracken.
The Kraken area.
And
Uh,
he's
yeah, it's
also
hard
the
to
one
nail
that
this stuff
told me
down
we
with fire
had to burn
departments.
down our buildings south of the railroad track.
Okay.
That was over a year ago, and I still.
Yeah, I know when you run into a situation like that, it's a big liability issue.
Uh-huh.
But that's completely to each department and their own rules, their own
Well,
policies.
they were gonna do it for a practice.
Yeah, yeah. You just run into a big liability if you burn down a house and flames, embers travel a mile down the road to catch a field on fire and then it catches the house on fire. Fire department's liable for that. So that's why a lot of departments they just try not to even mess with it. I'll still keep trying to reach them, see if they're interested in doing that. La Crosse is having a great outcome with the scrap metal and all that stuff. Save you guys money for weight dumpsters, and they'll be able to benefit from that as well. But it does take work for the department itself to do, and some people just don't like to do it.
So I'm just saying, I just see places that have numerous appliances sitting outside that
Mhm.
needs to be dumped in those things. And I don't know if they're waiting for that particular cleanup.
Well, could that man from
I
Clayton
think that's
Inn,
kind
he
of
came
what
up
they
with
heard by the
took a lot
grapevine.
of
And
appliances,
we had to do it set,
hoop and
didn't we?
plywood,
Yeah,
refrigerator,
so
and
process was
Pat
when we were gonna
and
do it.
Angie, I don't know how much stuff they took out of
They're
there.
scheduled
But
for
if they can
dumpsters.
get money
Yeah.
towards the fire department, that
Cross
was
you
his
know what theirs is?
talking points for. Theirs was April, the first
Yeah, they're just
week.
about right now to the end of the month.
Yeah.
And they're not going in and picking up anything, they're doing the dumpsters just like we did last year, like they have to take everything to the dumpsters, which is odd, I never known them to do
It
that.
just saves manpower.
But
And
yeah,
they'll
there's
do
not enough, there's just not the.
enough guys, and I've talked to Lyle, because he's one of my firefighters, and he says certain individuals, they need a couch thrown out.
Yeah.
He says that they're not able to because, health reasons, age. He said, I'll send my guys out there with the tractor or trailer and load it up for them and haul it off. If that's what it takes to keep the city clean, we're gonna do it, But you have to kind of weigh the options. Is it somebody trying to take advantage and just lazy, don't want to do it, or they really can't do it? So, it's just a, fine line you have to walk when you do that, so.
And we want to kind of do the same thing here. We have people that will volunteer every year, and we have city equipment that we'll use if it's needed. If, like you say, in that case where there's somebody that just can't do it, we'll do our best to get it done.
The city, like I told, some other people, the city's already taking a big hit by the simple fact of getting the dumpsters, paying the landfill fees. The least the city people could do is get the trash there, if they can.
Yeah.
Or make get a hold of somebody to do it, or get a hold of the city, The least the city could do,
Or-
the residents could do is to get the trash there. They're already doing everything else for you, the least you can do is get it there, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if they don't, then it's just plain laziness in my book, so.
Yeah, or in the case like you said,
Like they
they're
can.
unable, disabled, elderly,
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, call me, I'll come and help.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of help. A lot of people are willing to, put in a little bit of labor to make.
Yeah,
things
I've
look
got a
better.
strong back and a weak mind, so.
I have weak both. Okay, so,
You guys might just wanna get a hold of Stubby, see what his
I've
prices
tried to get
are.
a hold of him and I haven't,
He's
you know,
not
I've been.
easy to get a
Yeah,
hold of.
I've not been
You're almost
successful.
better off just texting him, honestly, because I've
I
called him a
don't-
dozen times.
yeah, I
And
didn't
text
try
him and
that.
he will finally text me back a week later.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, they
Or-
had it in the paper, La Crosse was having it for so many days, all those dumpsters, so I thought the last time we were here that you were already making arrangements.
But we need to find out if we have the money to do it first.
But I understand that, did you tentatively make the
I
arrangements?
called him and he never called me back.
Okay, so did you text him?
I did not text him. I didn't know that I could. text
He's
that
he's
number.
really hard to get, unless you almost catch him in the middle of the road, you can't get a hold of him. Just because, I mean, he's up at 4, 3 or 4 in the morning already throwing trash. He gets home, sleeps in until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so-
it'd just be kind of nice to know what to plan for to get everybody involved and what our game plan is.
We
But
need
you're
to
gonna
find
make
out
that
if we have the money
decision
first,
like next Thursday
Yeah,
This Thursday.
or this
this
Thursday?
Thursday.
If there's any
He lives a
funds,
block, he lives a block from me. You want me to stop at his house on the way home?
You can tell him to give me a call, yeah, if
You
you,
know, I got his phone number right here.
yeah, I called him, he just
Yeah.
didn't,
This
he
his
just
cell or
didn't-
his work?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was his cell or his work, I didn't know there was 2 different numbers. It was
Well,
just
I
whatever
don't know
Austin
if there
had
is or
given.
not either.
Oh, okay, it's just whatever Austin had given.
so at the meeting, you guys can see if there is funding for it, and then if there is, then get a hold of him, and be like, hey, what are your pricing, and then go from there. So yeah, that'd be
Let's keep trying to get a hold of him regardless. If we had pricing when we go into a meeting, that would be good. If we don't,
I could leave here and call him.
we'll at
and
least
see if
know
I
what's
could-
in our budget, what we can afford when we do get a hold of him.
Do we need to go ahead and make a tentative date?
I don't think we want to at this
No,
time.
until we get it.
Because this is April.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we go.
It might not matter because he might be booked up until June.
Till-
Yeah.
We
You
need
just never know.
to know these things before we set a date. But I do want to get it done as soon as possible. I don't want to be doing this in hot weather. So we want to do it ASAP. So we've got some pressure items here, and that's why I wanted to do it have a meeting, a work session this Thursday instead of the following Thursday. 'Cause some of these items do have a little bit of urgency. Okay, everybody happy about that? Okay, at this time,
Who's Fay Trent?
That was the old agenda.
Oh, well, that's the one I got here.
Oh, sorry, that was the old one?
No, yeah, that's the line. So I didn't look at the date.
Yeah,
Oh, you passed out all the old ones?
I
They were sitting here, so I bet I passed them. out.
I don't think anyone got a new one, okay.
I thought I picked them up, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I put the new ones over on the podium. I knew I did that.
okay, we'll adjourn the meeting for April 8th, 2024. So I motion that we adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning the meeting, April 8th, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.